Hey you guys, what's up? So, really quick video. I won't make this very long, but I've been making some videos about narcissists, and they've been getting, I have a little small growing community here. My channel is quite small, but I am growing a little community of like-minded people here, but the videos that I've made about my experiences and my journeys with the narcissists who have come into my life and quite literally almost left my life in ruins, and what I learned from those experiences when I've shared those with others and shared how I was able to be a survivor from that. Just seeing how much it's helped people really is telling me to keep sharing, because we live in the day and the age of the narcissist, and sometimes when you're not really aware of what's going on, these narcissists will drive your life into ruin. Now, I was looking at a video recently about layoffs, and this culture of layoffs. How companies, these huge corporations, will do these, big string of hirings, and then 2 weeks later, they're doing huge strings of layoffs. So this video, I encourage you to look it up if you can. It's from a channel called A Life After Layoff. A channel called A Life After Layoff, and it's entitled "Is the Workplace Broken Beyond Repair? Toxic Companies and the End of Loyalty." This guy, he was a former recruiter, or he is a recruiter. And he was just talking about how he feels and he sees, really as with insight with this, that there is this toxic culture that's happening in the corporate world right now, where layoffs is so easy for these companies. It used to be 30 and 40 and 50 years ago with our parents, with our grandparents. And he articulates this baby very well. He talks about the baby boomers. He talks about the silent generation, etc. And how they were able to go and work for a company and get a pension, work for 15, 20, 30 odd years, and retire comfortably. And companies were loyal to their employees. Whereas in contrast with today's day and age, companies have no loyalty to people. They will hire you. First of all, they will take you through 15 rounds of interviews and make it so tedious and difficult and literally painful for you to just get your foot in the door. And then 2 weeks later, they will lay you off. And he was actually reading through comments on LinkedIn and things like that. If I can remember, I will link the video in the description, but I am very busy, and so I might forget. But I did mention it earlier. If you need to rewind it, go ahead and look at it. But he just goes through the video and he talks about how this is so toxic. He talks about how he had gone on LinkedIn and actually looked at many stories of people recounting how they had just had a baby. They were literally, walking out of their parents' funeral. They had literally just bought a house. They were on bereavement leave. Lots of different things. They had just started really great initiatives with the companies they had been hired with, and they had gotten laid off through email, through gross emails. One of them actually expressed like walking out of their parents' funeral or going into their parents' funeral and literally getting an email saying that they were laid off. And so the guy just basically talks about there was a day and age where companies literally had loyalty to people, where this didn't really happen. And me, I'm a freelancer. I freelanced since 2016, and I noticed a long time ago, this right here, black woman, brown person, like even just mildly opinionated, it can sometimes just butt heads with corporate politics. I realized a long time ago being a freelancer would afford me to be able to do my craft that I love to do. I work in advertising and I love advertising. I'd be able to give back to companies, and help them bring the visions to life that they can't do themselves, as much as. So there's so many, account people and, analysts and people with uncreative jobs who just really think that they can do creative advertising, at least in my industry. They think they can do your job for you, and then they find out they can't, and that's hence the rounds of layoffs and firings and hirings. But anyway, I saw a long time ago that like I can make just as much money being a freelancer and not have to deal with politics, right? And so it got me to thinking. We talked about narcissists in the beginning here. Narcissists are cowards. They're cowards, and they pretend to sort of understand typical human emotions. They pretend to have compassion, but they really don't. And they just kind of follow this formula of what works, what doesn't work, and what brings them money at the end of the day. Companies some time ago realized, hey, high turnover brings more money to our execs. It might mean ruin for people down on those lower ranks, but it brings a lot of money to our execs, a lot of money to our rich shareholders. So screw the people. And it was so heartbreaking because the guy, a life after layoffs, he actually talked about, and trigger warning, he actually talked about someone who had gotten laid off and they were so fearful that was going to happen, and 2 days later they took their own life. Companies don't think about that these days. They don't think about that they could be driving people into utter ruin. Same way that a narcissist doesn't think about that they could be driving your life into utter ruin. And so it got me to thinking, we live in the day and age of the narcissist. An individual can be a narcissist. They can have those attributes of lack of empathy, of vindictiveness, of always feeling that there's some sort of competition, very childlike, feeling like if they're being threatened, their authority is being threatened in any way, they want to eliminate you and then come back and hoover you up. And I've had this before from jobs. I've had it where there's been some terrible office politics, and I guess somebody thought I said something some type of way, which I'm a very respectful person. Like, that's just how I was raised. So anytime someone thinks that just raises major flags with me. But they thought I was too big for my britches, and so they eliminated me. And then they had to come back and hoover me up when they realized, holy crap, we screwed ourselves over. We need Najwa. I've gotten so much work because of that, from people hoovering me back up. And for me, it's okay. Like, you can hoover me back up. It means money in my account. But, like I since I'm a freelancer, I don't have to deal with the heartache of office politics. But, yeah, it just really got me. This really wasn't supposed to be a long video. I really just want to hear you guys' thoughts. What are some of the narcissistic ways that you have been in the corporate world, been in a company, whatever, etc.? Maybe you got laid off after a point that was really crucial in your life, like you had just had a kid, or you just started a business, or somebody had passed in your family, and the company was just so unaware of that. Or was it the beginning of an experience? Did you go through so many rounds of interviews and then 2 weeks later you were fired? Whatever it was, I would love to know more about it, because I would love to explore this topic more. This is just sort of a chip on the surface, but I think that there's something there, something with narcissism and corporations and this culture of layoffs, of just like, no loyalty to employees. I think that there's something there. And there was even a study that showed that I think 1 in 5 execs is a narcissist. So I mean, if you have narcissists making up institutions and corporations. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. If you're new to this channel, please go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the bell so you know whenever I post a video. Please subscribe. It really, really helps out my channel. And I will see you guys the next time. Okay. Bye. Bye.